What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel here. I am so sorry that I've not made a video in a while. I haven't been making content. I ended up getting pretty bad sick again, and then Christmas came and everything. So I hope everybody had an awesome Christmas and everything, got to spend some time with your families. But we have just been kind of plugging away over here on the white truck. I'm going to go over that today. I just wanted to make a kind of a quick video since I haven't made one in a while. Just kind of touch base with what we've been doing over here and everything like that. I believe we just crossed, I think we're right at coming up on 800 subscribers or something like that. Last time I made a video, I think it was 500 or something. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm really happy people are still subscribing. I haven't been making content, so that means that people are actually enjoying the channel, and it's not just because I've been making constant videos. But yeah, so today I think we're going to go over just a couple things. I just wanted to, make me a quick video here, and let's get after it. Yeah, nothing super crazy been going on. Me and Jeremiah just got done stabbing a ZF6 back in this rig here. They blew the synchronizers out of it and messed some of the gearing up, but we got it all fixed up and everything. We're just waiting on the little shifter boot. It's tore and leaking fluid into the floor of the truck, so we'll fix that while we've got it apart. Really nothing crazy been going on other than that. Quite a few plans have changed on a bunch of the trucks around here. I'll go over it real quick. As far as, I'll touch on Jeremiah's stuff. I believe we are no longer going to be doing the super hot rod stuff to this truck. We have the 7.3 Jamboree coming up here soon. So we're kind of on a crunch to get something put together between my truck getting finished and getting him something up and going. So we're planning on kind of putting this thing back together stockish. He has the old Charger. It's a KC Stage 3 and some 180/80s that come out of my white truck when we pulled the engine out of it. We're going to put that in that and get it back together kind of stockish. That way we can get it back on the road. And then I believe he has found a bullnose style truck, an actual, like I think it's an F350 or something. It's already solid axled. It's a single cab truck, and I believe we're going to do the hot rod stuff to it, kind of make a more of a race style truck with it, and hopefully we'll have both trucks put back together. But we'll have to swap in a 7.3 to it, and I think he's doing 3.2s in it, and I think he's got a 476 laying at the house that we're going to throw on it, and then he also got a bunch of Nitrous stuff. But that's where we're kind of going with his trucks. So we'll get this thing finished up, get an engine put back in it, and get it out of here. And then we are going to get the other truck over here and get started on it. Believe based off what they're saying on the Jamboree that they're going to be doing, that leaves us roughly 4 to 5 months to have something put together. So we kind of got to get after it here. But on to my stuff. My black truck here has completely changed plans. I was going to do a bunch of body stuff to it. I don't like the two-tone stuff a whole bunch, so I was kind of planning on getting it painted. I want it to. It's got a bunch of little pecker dents in it here. It's got this one from putting your knee in the fender here to pull the belt. It's got that. It's got a run in the bed. I don't know if the bed's been painted before or what, but you probably won't be able to see it, but it's got a little run back here. The bed's kind of rough as far as scratches and stuff like that. But I've actually decided that I'm not going to put this truck back together. I'm actually on the search for a maroon Harley Davidson truck. They're pretty rare. I really like them, and I'm just going to save some money aside, and I'm going to go buy me one of those that's already in perfect condition, no dents, no scratches, no rust, no nothing. This truck doesn't have any rust whatsoever, but just based off the money I'll have and new fenders, the body work, paint, and everything the way I want to get the truck, it's just going to be a lot cheaper for me to go buy a truck that's in really, really good shape that I don't have to worry about. and then it's going to be a bear, but I'm going to swap all my stuff over onto it that I've been doing. It's got kryptonite steering, hubs, power stop brakes, batteries are in the bed, but kind of a pain in the butt. Compound's already off of it and everything. It's got Corbos in it. And then the biggest pain in the butt's going to be moving all that over. So that's pretty much everything runs into the glove box here. Nitrous, the Air Dog, everything runs into this power distribution block that I've got. And you also don't have don't have the normal wire that runs up top on the cowl there. I completely cut it and rerouted it. So I'll move everything over onto that different truck whenever we end up getting it, but this is on pretty bad back burner right now. I don't plan on touching it for a while, but I've actually been taking a bunch of stuff off of it and moving it onto the white truck here so that we're kind of moving along a little faster on it. But yeah, I think that's really about the only update I've got as far as my black truck and Jeremiah's trucks go right now. But I'm gonna show y'all what we've been doing on the white truck, because that's what we've been focused on lately. So all right, so let's move on to the white truck here. I'm gonna start out with my first thing here that we just got finished up here. My family ended up picking these up for me for Christmas, so big thanks to them. Super stoked about these. These are OBS Solutions new swing lock mirrors that they just come out with. Got these for Christmas. So I already had these on my list, and I guess my wife told them about it and they picked it up for me. But super nice units. They're all billet up here and down here, and they do not come with mirrors. So that's one thing that you might ought to note if you do plan on picking these up. So if you do end up, before you go, pulling your old mirrors off and throwing them in the scrap pile, make sure that you take your mirror off if you're not planning on buying a new style mirror. I think I found a set that's like on eBay is the only place that I can really find actual mirror heads. So I'm gonna pick those up. My old ones were bad dented and dingy, so I just tossed them. But another thing to remember if you get them is they do not come with your little plastic isolators here, little shims. So make sure that you do not toss these if you buy these. That you can go ahead and toss your old hardware. It does come with new hardware, new Allen style bolts, which is super nice. And they swing and they lock into position right there where they're supposed to go. So I've got those all mounted up and everything. I'm gonna order me some mirrors for them. But I think they look really good. A little better style. I like the kind of squared off looking top section there instead of it just being rounded off. But yeah, super nice units. Got it done on this side. But yeah, I was gonna polish. I'll get these probably polished up whenever I actually get the truck detailed up and everything like that. Try and clean them up as much as I can. But yeah, so that's those are OBS Solutions new swing lock mirrors. Pretty happy with them. Like them a lot. Just remember what I said about having to get the mirror and everything like that if you plan on buying them. Let's move on. I ended up making me a nice little bracket here. Let's see if I can't move it. There we go. Nice little bracket to go down to this. These already have holes drilled in them right at the top, which was pretty convenient. So we are not running fender liners in this truck. They'll be staying out. Truck doesn't see rain or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. But my box here was just kind of flopping because your only other source of mounting is right here, and then you've got two studs here that mount to the fender liner. When you have the fender liner in, that's what holds it up. So I just ended up making me a nice little piece right here and bolted it to this, and then just drilled me a hole, and it runs up to the bottom of the box. And this is now super solid, not going anywhere. So pretty happy with that. Got it all nice and mounted up. OBS Solutions is also coming out with a Hydro Boost conversion kit that will run an 05 style box, or not box, I'm sorry, 05 style Hydro Boost, which is super awesome because next thing we're going to move on to is I have got my blue top moved over to this frame. So this is the steering box out of my black truck over there. So it is an actual 05 up steering box. It does not just bolt right in. What you have to do is to mount it on your frame here. You're gonna have to ream those holes out to, I believe they were 3/4 what I reamed them out to, drill bit size. And your bolts will not work off your old steering box off the OBS, and they will not work off an 05 truck. They're too long. So what you're gonna have to do, what I did was I just went up to Ford and grabbed 3 stock 6-liter head bolts. They're the same size thread, and I cut maybe about I think maybe 2 or 3 inches off where the threads start, and cleaned them up and everything, and it works perfect. So that's how I did that. And then other than that, it's direct bolt in. Your steering shaft bolts in, same spline and everything like that. And then you can just go ahead and keep the pitman arm on it, and you'll be good as far as that goes. Because when you buy the Skies off-road kit, it comes with a reamed out pitman arm so that you can run the 05 steering, but keep your OBS steering box. The only reason I didn't do that is because I just wanted to use the full potential of the axles. So I wanted as much steering side to side as I could get. So we swapped it over. So now when OBS Solutions comes out with their 05 Hydro Boost conversion, all we'll have to do is basically get 05 style lines and just run them down to the box, and we'll be good to go. And then you'll already have your return nipple on your stock power steering pump, so no big deal there. So got that taken care of. I don't know if I showed it in the last video, but I did end up trimming my cross member here. So you do have to trim that for the your track bar here, because it will hit, it will not clear. So I just got my air saw here. You can probably use the Sawzall, but it might be kind of a pain in the butt. So I have a nice snap-on air saw here that I used. I just got me some nice blades for it and just took my time and worked my way down and just let the blade kind of walk itself along the cross member there. But I think it turned out pretty good. It looks really, really clean, and I've got plenty of room now. Let's see, what else? We got our dipstick, transmission locking dipstick mounted and everything. Made me a little plate there to block everything off, riveted it all in and everything so it looks nice. But mounted that to that, and it should do us good in that little corner. It gives me enough room to pull it and everything like that. So if I have to do anything with that, I got plenty of room over here where I can actually pull the dipstick out. And once the transmission actually comes up and gets mounted to the back of the engine, it should tuck that line up nice and neat. So we took care of that. One thing I will move back over to on the steering box to touch on is it is extremely tight right there on your pitman arm to the cross member, but it does clear. It doesn't look like it clears, but it clears. Jeremiah's is the same way. He has an 05 style box on his, just super tight. You don't have to trim it, but if you choose to do so, no big deal. I did not trim it, so I think we'll be fine. If it hits, I'll worry about it then. See what else we can move on to here. Nothing super crazy there. Got me a new starter relay from Ford. Didn't like the old dingy one. And another thing is I'm not going to be running. I'm going to see how the truck runs without a sway bar. Primarily because if you step back here and look, the bracket for it is like hanging down like right here. So it's going to look really stupid with the sway bar hanging down that low. And from what I've heard, it's not that big a deal to not run one. So we'll get the truck back together, get it running and everything like that. And if it's super bad, no big deal, I'll throw it on there. But I just want to see if it's drivable without it. Another thing is my diff cover down there. If you can see, we do not have one on it. I ended up stealing the ones off the black truck. So the rear was a Banks, one of them super fancy, amazing, whatever, diff covers. Moved it over, it fit perfect, but the front was an ATS style. I'll walk over here and show you that. But it 100% does not clear. So if you're gonna try and run the truck lower, just something to note, the lower you go, probably gonna be running a stock diff cover. Not that you, or if you plan to run an aftermarket one, they don't fit. So this is the ATS style, but yeah, so you can see it sticks out quite a bit. So that wasn't happening. That did not clear, period. So we're gonna have to try and, I'll probably just get me a nice stock style cover and go have it powder coated or something like that. I'll lay down here, and we got our super ultra cool and Banks diff cover here. And there's a huge video on those things if you want to watch that, where they go over how insanely amazing they are. I don't know if that's true or not, but we bought it anyway. I'll move up here, show you what else we did. I did end up pulling, this has been done, but I have both tanks out of the truck. They were super crusty, had a bunch of junk in them, were delaminating. So those are gone. I haven't really decided as far as what I'm going to do on that yet. I do believe I had a guy that was going to make kind of like a stock style bolt-in rear fuel cell that would take the place of the rear fuel tank. And we were going to try and utilize a stock sending unit, same style filler neck and everything like that. But haven't heard anything on that, and it might be a bear. So if it comes down to it not getting done, I'll probably just go ahead and pull the trigger on just kind of a universal fuel cell there, and I'll just wire in a gauge into the truck for the time being. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do on that. I'll just have to get one with a sump and everything already built into it. That way I'm not waiting around for everybody. But while we're on the subject of fuel stuff, I'll slide down here. We've got our AirDog 5G mounted up and everything. I am going to go ahead and convert our lines here over to AN. I do like the push lock stuff. It works pretty good, but just for looks and stuff like that, I'm gonna swap it over to AN and run it all the way up. And while I'm down here, also got our Knoxville driveline solid piece swapped in. I stole it off the black truck as well. It already had the joints and everything in it, and it fit perfect. Fell right into place. So that was super handy. It already had one. I've had one made for the actual OBS axles, but I'll have to run it back down to Knoxville driveline and everything like that, and then have this all swapped out to run a different style U-joint, and then have your actual flange put onto it, and then it'll have to be rebalanced. So just for time and money sakes, I didn't feel like having to deal with that, so I just took the one out of the black truck and it fell into place perfect, so it got bolted up. So that's all taken care of. Yeah, let's see what else here. I guess I'll move on to our nitrous stuff. So that's the next thing. I got all buttoned up and everything like that. So let's start on it. All right, so let's just move on to our nitrous stuff here. So I've got both my bottles mounted up in the bed here. I ended up taking the bottle out of the black truck as well, and the bracket. I was going to buy the dual bottle bracket that Nitrous Express sells. It's super nice and everything like that, but it's $500, and I already had both these billet bottle brackets for the single bottle. So I just kind of made it work. Let's see if I can't show you here. So I ended up just taking it, and there's no really good way, and I didn't want to drill a ton of holes in my bed. So what I ended up doing was, if you look in between there, if it'll focus, I basically just put both bottle brackets together on my toolbox over there, and then the OBS Solution swing lock mirrors, they come with these little shims that you can see down there that I used for the slide out mirrors. If you use those, which I wasn't going to use, so I took those, I drilled 2 holes in it, and I just got some hardware, and I bolted them both together. So basically it made it a dual bottle bracket without having to waste money and buy another bracket and not have one that was useful anymore. But got it all bolted to the bed, so there's only 2 on this side and 2 on that side. So instead of having 8 holes drilled in my bed here, I've only got 4. So just trying to keep from drilling a bunch of holes in my truck. So that worked out really, really well. Pretty happy with that. That's as far back as I could get them. So I've got enough room to get my hand back there. I'm going to just keep this one capped off. I do need to go ahead and order me another one of those gauges for the other bottle. That's super handy. That way you know when you're out of nitrous and when the bottles are full. Was gonna kind of be dumb and run both kits. So I had a single kit for this truck, and then I had the kit off the black truck. So it would have been 4 250 solenoids from Nitrous Express. So quite a bit of nitrous. But for the time being, the guys talked me out of doing that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run our single kit and see if both solenoids with that amount of nitrous will clear up the fuel, and then we'll start adding from there. So if that doesn't clear up the fuel, we'll go ahead and start adding a solenoid. If it clears up the fuel, then we'll add the other one. So we've just got those on there. I went ahead and threw my damn solenoids back in here. So we'll leave those in the black truck for now. I'll move back over here. So on our line, what I did was I'll show you, nice little grommet. So I drilled me a hole here, and then I've got my line that just runs down real nice and neat, goes through this grommet in the bed, and then I'll show you where that come from. And then in the back of the cab here, let me walk around. There is just a single, it's the only grommet I could find in the cab of this truck without having to run that line all the way up and back into the cab and everything. If you look in the very back there, if you pull, this seat will actually fold up all the way, and if you pull your carpet back, there is it is like perfect for what I was doing here. Perfect grommet right there in the back. There's only 2 of them. Pull that one out and run my line up into the cab here. Tucked it all up nice and neat underneath the carpet here. Brought it back, and you can kind of see right there where it comes in. Run it up underneath, down here, all the way up underneath all this shrouding and everything. And then I actually have your Y lines up here where the heater core used to be. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this piece right here, you have this. So you got your main line that runs from the bottle to this, and then it wires off to both solenoids. This is kind of a pain in the ass. I wish they would have designed this differently so it wasn't wide off so hard. So if they just put these straight forward, it would have been a lot easier, because if you look, one shorter than the other, they don't come close together. It's just a pain. So we utilized what we had. So that's all tucked up nice and neat under the dash there with that line, so you can't see it or anywhere. And then rod it over here, and as you can see, I've got both my solenoids mounted right there. And then I used where the heater core lines used to come out right here, and so both your coolant lines would come out right there. Heater core's gone on this truck, so I ran both my lines nice and neat out of there, one on one side and one on the other hole, and brought them out to our solenoids here. And so it come out really, really good. I'm pretty happy with it, and I just tucked them up real nice and neat up here in this little cubby. And then you'll just have your two lines that'll run out of the bottom of the solenoid over to your intercooler pipe, or just however you want to route that. But really, really happy with how that come out. They're both 250 solenoids. And then I also had these nice little billet line holders right here that I used to hold it together, just kind of something to spiffy it up, make it look really nice there. That way the lines aren't rubbing each other. And then I'll just run my actual solenoid wires back into that hole, tuck them up where you can't see them, and then I'll run everything based off that in the cab. The black truck does have a maximizer in it. I don't think that I'm going to run a maximizer on this one. I really like, I know a lot of people think it's dumb, but I really like using just a handheld button. That's the experience I've had with spraying nitrous on this truck and everything. And I don't want to have to deal with all the wiring for the maximizer. And I like the control I have with just the button, handheld button. So basically it's just a wide open switch. So that'll be run to a key on hot, and your switch will basically engage both solenoids to spray. And I just like it like that. I feel like I've got more control over it that way. So that's the way I'm going to route that and everything like that. I've got my lines over here. So these are your lines that come with it. So both these will run to the your intercooler pipe. So from the solenoid over to the pipe. And then, let me see if I can't set this up. All right, so then we have your, let me take this apart here. So then we'll have our jets and everything that run in there. So as you can see, that's where your actual nitrous jets go. These are the biggest ones that they come with. They are 136, I believe. So that's a pretty decent size hole. We'll toy with this, but I definitely am just going to go ahead and go with the biggest nozzle right out the gate, because we ain't scared around here. So we're going to do that and keep that all put together there. And then we have all our jets from both kits. If we choose to kind of bump it down there, so I'll probably keep these with the truck, see what will make power wise on all the nitrous we can spray. Fuel, all nitrous, so we'll do different pulls, one with all fuel, see what we make, and then spray both kits of nitrous. And then when we get into actually racing and everything like that, we'll see what it runs time wise with the big jets. And then if we can't keep tires, then we'll go from there. But we'll bump down as far as nitrous goes to run certain times. So I'll keep these with the truck. So just keep that in mind. So that's all, pretty much all I've got. That's all our nitrous stuff and everything that we've got all wrapped up there. Pretty stoked with how that come out and everything like that. I think it looks really good back here. These back brackets are just, can't speak today. These brackets are just awesome. They just kind of immediately, they come, your kit, when you buy this kit, it comes with just kind of some V-band style clamps down here that you can use. They just, I don't know, I don't like them. So go ahead and pick you up one of these things. These things are just absolutely awesome. You just go ahead and slide that on up there, slide that up, and then this pops up and swings out, and you can change your bottle out. Just such awesome units. Super really nice piece there. I really like these things. So what we'll do is, since we're just going to run one kit for right now, we will basically just swap line. So when we're out on this bottle, we'll just go ahead and swap bottle over, or just move our line over there. And then if it comes down to using both kits, so the kit that's on the truck installed right now and installing both those other solenoids, I'll run another line just for those. But I'll have to figure something out on that, because that was super tight just getting that ran just for the 2 solenoids that are on it. Yeah, I think that's really all I've got as far as the nitrous stuff goes. That might really be it for all I've done to the truck. I moved my CTS3 on over here. So I'm actually going to utilize the CTS3 for everything. So I'm not going to run any style pillar gauges. I don't really like those. You can't data log with them or anything like that. And when you're going down the track, you're not paying attention to them. So the CTS3 data logs and everything for you. So you basically pull it up, hit record when you go down the track, and then you can plug it into the computer and watch all your parameters and everything and see what the truck was doing. So this monitor, it actually monitors quite a bit of stuff for it being an old school truck. It actually monitors more stuff than I would expect. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll run our boost sensor to it. They actually make a competition style pack that comes with a bunch of different sensors. So I will run one down to my air dog so he can keep an eye on fuel pressure, one for boost, and a couple other odds and ends that I can find out. It's already got an EGT sensor plumbed into it. That way, when we're going down the track, I ain't got to pay attention to that. I can just hit record, and then when we come back into the lanes there, I can plug it to the computer and see what the truck was doing. I think that's really about all I've got for y'all. Still waiting on an engine. Hopefully we'll have it back before too long, because we're running out of time here. I did send off, I'll wait and make another video on that. I'm pretty excited about that. I sent off all the pulleys that go on this engine down to a boy in Florida that's got a machine shop, and he's going to make all the pulleys out of billet and cut some designs into them. That's something that's always kind of irked me on the Cummins and Duramax platforms, is everybody makes all this cool billet stuff for them, but when you get into the Power Stroke stuff, nobody makes anything. Never really understood that. I guess just because it's not a popular platform. But we sent them down there, so hopefully we'll have another video on it here soon when they get back. We're going to cut a cool design into all of them, so we'll have our AC delete pulley, water pump, both idlers, pretty much everything other than the harmonic balancer, which we're running a fluid dampener on. And you'll be able to see them, because I think that's the biggest reason people don't do it, is because the radiator and everything's in the way. But when you swap to electric fans, you can see them, you know, on 6 liters, 7.3s, everything. I actually ended up on my black truck, because nobody would make them for me. I ended up polishing the stock ones and sealing them, so they're all polished up and everything. So on this one, I just wanted to have a cool design cut into them and everything. So those are sent off right now. Hopefully we'll get them back soon. And I really think that's going to do it for this video. I don't think I've really done much else on the truck. Pretty much out of parts to install on it until the engine gets back. So I've just kind of been scrounging for stuff to do on it. But I think that's going to do it. Thank you all so very much for subscribing, watching the YouTube videos and everything like that. You guys are absolutely awesome. I hope to continue to make content for you guys, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff come back here soon, so it's not just constant little piddly updates. But we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching everything and tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.